Good afternoon, everyone. It's Hanifa from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I want to talk to you about one of my favorite topics in the world, which is love. I found this quotation, which I love, and I would love to share it with you. It says, "Once in a while, right in the middle of an ordinary life, love gives us a fairy tale." So once in a while, right in the middle of an ordinary life, love gives us a fairy tale. I love that. Now, of course, you can tell, I suspect, that I am a bit of a romantic. So I know this quotation is about romantic love, and I definitely want to talk about romantic love in this video. I also want to talk about other types of love, and I want to talk about the love of food, and I want to talk about love in general, maybe even the love of work. So let me talk about love in relationships first. Because in North America, and quite honestly, probably around the world, most of us have kind of been brought up with kind of what I'll call a priestly tradition. So it's in a format that has come from institutions like religious groups and organizations and traditions. And in that, there is the idea of love. So loving God is part of this process. And then love thy neighbor. And then there's loving your spouse or your partner. And all of that is wonderful because it's encouraging that we do share love. But where is it coming from? It's coming from an idea of obligation, responsibility, and duty. So, of course, if you are married, for example, you need to love your spouse because that's what you're supposed to do. That's what the books have said you are supposed to do. Now, when we look at all of these religions, and spirituality also thinks about love of the universe or gratitude for the universe, we can think about on a prophetic level, so whether we say from Jesus, from Moses, from Muhammad, from any spiritual leaders, the authenticity of love is the foundation of true love. So whether it's for God or the universe, or whether it's for the spouse, it's the authenticity of that. It's not the obligation. It's the loving because there is a genuine love. Now, what is a genuine love? I suspect if you've ever been in love, if you've felt love, you know what love feels like. And that's what I want to point out in this video, that love has a special feeling behind it. So it's that feeling of knowing whether you are at your best or you are not at your best, you are loved. Or whether you are noticing someone doing their best or not their best, you love them. It's such a big feeling that it's impossible to miss it. So that's an awareness that one can bring into your consciousness, because otherwise, yeah, we're all saying that we're loving this or that or anything. And unless we're feeling an authentic, genuine connection with what we are saying, I love you, it's important that it can give some misleading signals to people. Now, actions can also show some misleading signals. So let's say a couple is married and they're supposed to stay married. And other people will think, wow, they're so in love because they're married and they've been married for 30 years and that's so beautiful. Doesn't mean that that couple is sharing love, as you and I both know. But what the world might see could differ from what their individual experience is. And that's the area that I would love for everyone to focus on, is how authentic are your feelings, and are you in touch with your own feelings, and are you in touch with what you give out to others? Now I want to talk about nutrition, because if we think about food, so we want to talk about nutrition, it sounds so healthy and it sounds proper and it's like an obligation. Watch your nutrition. I want to make sure that we think about food, and you know what food you love. Some people love chocolate. I guess that's a common one for many people. Some people love ice cream. Some people love healthy food, and that's fine. It's wonderful. It's know what you love. Now, do you notice the feeling you have when you're eating the food that you love? Because most people won't rush through that food. They will savor it, which means you can use that same feeling and that awareness with how you savor your relationships, where you are having and sharing love with a person. The same thing can be said about work. If you are at your workplace and you say, I love my job. Now, lots of people do. And then you further question. I further question my clients and say, what is it that you love about this job? I love what I do, and I love this profession. I love what money it brings me. Would you change this job if you got a better pay somewhere else? So it's often a momentary pause, and many people would say, yeah, if I was doing the same thing I'm doing in a different job for more money, I would do it. So you love the money, perhaps. So perhaps it's the money is the bigger draw. Now, some people, I've noticed that sole proprietors, and this is a bias too, but I think that when sole proprietors are working, oftentimes they really are loving the work that they do. So some sole proprietors might be carpenters, and they love creating what they are creating with their artistry in their carpentry. There are other people who love playing music. There are other people who love healthcare. So I love healthcare. Now, in these times, oftentimes we know that there's a love because a person has gone into this full force because they are loving what they do. Now, they might love it because they know how to do it. They might have been taught how to do it from family. They might have been practicing this for a long time. So they love the fact that they have some strength in an area that gives them confidence about what they do. And there are other people who love their job because they really love doing what they do. And in those situations, even if the person is working for a company doing the job that they love to do, they will likely stay in that company, especially if they're feeling a love from the company for the work that they're doing. You will often know whether you love your job or not by noticing how you feel if you spend longer doing your job, or if you go in earlier, you leave later, because you love what you do. Not because, oh, I've got so much to finish, I better go in early. I'm going to have a long day today because I got to finish this. If you love what you do, you lose track of time. You actually want to be there. And that's what I notice with my work. I know that I love helping people. I love helping people see things that maybe they weren't seeing, and to act in ways that maybe they weren't acting, and to feel things that maybe they weren't noticing. Now remember that anything that you love, you could love a flower. I love flowers. And when I look at a flower, I really look and enjoy and appreciate the flower. This is what we need to keep in mind about how we feel when we love something. So today, I would like you to think about, what is it that you love that's around you? Maybe what you're eating, maybe what you're seeing, maybe who you're spending time with. And if you love it, know the feeling of love, because love brings wonderful things to you. And I wish that for all of you. So today, take a few minutes just after this video and just think about, what are the things that you love? And are you showing true appreciation for those things that you love? In the meantime, I wish you a fantastic day ahead. And remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.